Mary Stuart was then in the full bloom of her beauty even more brilliant in its mourning garb, a beauty so wonderful that it shed around her a charm which no one whom she wished to please could escape, and which was fatal to almost everyone. About this time, too, someone made her the subject of a song, which, even as her rivals confessed, contained no more than the truth. It was, so it was said, by Monsieur de Maisonfleur, a cavalier equally accomplished in arms and letters. Here it is. In robes of whiteness, lo, full sad and mournfully, went pacing to and fro Beauty's divinity. A shaft in hand she bore from Cupid's cruel store, and he who fluttered round bore o'er his blindfold eyes, and o'er his head uncrowned, a veil of mournful guise whereon the words were wrought, You perish or are caught. Yet at this moment Mary Stuart, in her deep mourning of white, was more lovely than ever, for great tears were trickling down her cheeks, as, waving a handkerchief, standing on the quarter-deck, she who was so grieved to set out, bowed farewell to those who were so grieved to remain. At last, in half an hour's time, the harbour was left behind. The vessel was out at sea. Suddenly Mary heard loud cries behind her. A boat coming in under press of sail, through her pilot's ignorance, had struck upon a rock in such a manner that it was split open, and after having trembled and groaned for a moment like someone wounded, began to be swallowed up amid the terrified screams of all the crew. Mary, horror-stricken, pale, dumb, and motionless, watched her gradually sink, while her unfortunate crew, as the keel disappeared, climbed into the yards and shrouds, to delay their death agony a few minutes. Finally, keel, yards, masts, all were engulfed in the ocean's gaping jaws. For a moment there remained some black specks, which in turn disappeared one after another. Then wave followed upon wave, and the spectators of this horrible tragedy, seeing the sea calm and solitary as if nothing had happened, asked themselves if it was not a vision that had appeared to them and vanished. "Alas!" cried Mary, falling on a seat and leaning both arms on the vessel's stern. "What a sad omen for such a sad voyage!" Then, once more fixing on the receding harbour her eyes, dried for a moment by terror, and beginning to moisten anew, "Adieu, France," she murmured. "Adieu, France." And for 5 hours she remained thus, weeping and murmuring, "Adieu, France. Adieu, France." Darkness fell while she was still lamenting, and then, as the view was blotted out and she was summoned to supper, "It is indeed now, dear France," said she, rising, "that I really lose you, since jealous night heaps mourning upon mourning, casting a black veil before my sight. Adieu, then, one last time, dear France, for never shall I see you more." With these words she went below, saying that she was the very opposite of Dido, who, after the departure of Aeneas, had done nothing but look at the waves, while she, Mary, could not take her eyes off the land. Then everyone gathered round her to try to divert and console her. But she, growing sadder, and not being able to respond, so overcome was she with tears, could hardly eat. And having had a bed got ready on the stern deck, she sent for the steersman, and ordered him, if he still saw land at daybreak, to come and wake her immediately. On this point Mary was favoured, for the wind having dropped, when daybreak came the vessel was still within sight of France. It was a great joy when, awakened by the steersman, who had not forgotten the order he had received, Mary raised herself on her couch, and through the window that she had had opened saw once more the beloved shore. But at 5 o'clock in the morning, the wind having freshened, the vessel rapidly drew farther away, so that soon the land completely disappeared. Then Mary fell back upon her bed, pale as death, murmuring yet once again, "Adieu, France, I shall see thee no more."